Children, let us continue with the next topic of reproductive health, medical termination of pregnancy. It's also known as MTP. Intentional or voluntary termination of pregnancy before full term is called medical termination of pregnancy or MTP. Or in the simple word, we can say induced abortions. Nearly 45 to 50 million MTPs are performed in a year all over the world, which accounts to 1/5 of total number of conceived pregnancies in a year. So obviously this play an important role in decreasing the population, but it is not meant for that purpose. Whether to accept it, whether to legalize MTP is debated in different countries due to different emotional, ethical, religious and social issues. Government of India has legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict restrictions, and so that to keep a check on the female feticides. MTP is meant for, it is to get rid of unwanted pregnancies due to unprotected intercourse, failure of contraceptives, rapes, pregnancies, and those pregnancies which may be fatal to mother or fetus. So sometimes mother is advised by the doctors to go for abortions. So MTP is legalized in our country due to all such reasons. It is safe within first trimester 12 weeks, but second trimester abortions are quite riskier. Moreover, in our country, many unqualified quacks, they perform these, and these are not only unsafe but it could be fatal too. Another dangerous trend of MTP is misuse of amniocentesis. Amniocentesis, that is a technique in which fetal abnormalities can be detected, but it can also be used to know the sex of the fetus. So, misuse of amniocentesis to detect the sex of the fetus and then termination of female fetuses is another dangerous trend. So, this MTP, that is, of course, it is legalized in our country due to these reasons, but still it is better if the parents, they are given effective counseling to avoid unprotected intercourse and different risk factors. They are made aware of the risk factors involved in illegal abortions. Our next topic, that is the sexually transmitted diseases. Many diseases or infections which are transmitted through sexual intercourse, they are called sexually transmitted diseases, or venereal diseases, or reproductive tract infections, RTI. Examples: gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B, and HIV. The most dangerous, that is the HIV infection, AIDS. Some of these diseases, like hepatitis B and HIV, they are not only transmitted by sexual contact, but they can also be transmitted by sharing of injection needles, sharing the unsterilized surgical instrument, transfusion of blood from infected to healthy person, infected mother to fetus. all these diseases, they are curable if they are diagnosed early at the earliest stage, except some like hepatitis B, genital herpes, and AIDS, they are not curable. Otherwise, is gonorrhea, syphilis, is chlamydiasis, is they can be treated well with antibiotics. Then symptoms, they are minor at early stages, is the itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, swelling in the genital regions. So it remains asymptomatic in the female, and that is why it remains undetected for the long period. Moreover, the people, social stigma that is also attached to it, and the people hesitate to go to the doctors to discuss their problems. So in the later stages, it becomes serious. Then it leads to pelvic inflammatory diseases, abortions, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancies. Ectopic means when pregnancy occurs, not occur in the uterus but other parts of the female reproductive system, infertility, or even cancers in the reproductive tract. Then, though all persons are vulnerable to these infections, but the high risk group is 15 to 24 years, and so this is the adolescent age. That is why this topic that is included in your textbook, in your syllabus, as that one should be aware of these STDs. Preventions are there. Avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners, always using condoms. In case of any doubt, go to a qualified doctor for early detection and getting complete treatment for diagnosed disease. Next, that is the infertility. We say that a large number of couples all over the world, including India, they are infertile. Means they are unable to produce children in spite of unprotected sex. Problems of infertility may be in male or females, but mostly in India, it's a female that is blamed for being childless. But more often, the problem lies in the male partner. Reasons of infertility may be physical, congenital diseases, drugs, immunological, or even psychological. There are special healthcare units, जिसको हम कहते हैं infertility clinics. They diagnose, they give corrected treatments and to such couples to have child. When treatments or corrections are not possible, then couple could be assisted to have children through special techniques which are known as assisted reproductive technologies or ART. So these are also given in these special infertility clinics. So different ways of ARTs are, one such is IVF, in vitro fertilization. In vitro means test tube babies or outside conditions and outside the body the fertilization occur. IVF then followed by embryo transfer. Test tube baby fertilization takes place outside and then the embryo is transferred. So test tube baby doesn't mean that the baby is developed in the test tube. only fertilization occur and embryo, initial development of the embryo occurs in the test tube or in vitro condition. Later development or the rest of the embryo development, fetus development occur within the body of the female. Here a female ill that is induced to produce multiple eggs, ova, then eggs they are collected from the wife, donor, and sperms are collected from the husband or maybe donor. They are incubated in the culture medium. Fertilization occur under in vitro condition in the culture medium, and that forms a zygote. Zygotes, it is transferred to the uterus of the wife and implantation occur and pregnancy continues. Again, this embryo transfer or zygote transfer, it can be of two types. So IVF, it can be further of two types. One is GIFT, that is a zygote intrafallopian transfer. Second is intrauterine transfer. Just from the name it is clear, zygote intrafallopian means zygote or early embryo with 8 blastomere stage, it transfer to the fallopian tube. लेकिन अगर इससे बाद वाली स्टेज होती है, एम्ब्रियो थोड़ा बड़ा हो जाता है, 8 सेल से ऊपर चले जाता है, फिर जो है it is transferred to the uterus, not to the fallopian tube. So second technique is IUT, embryo transferred at 32 cell stage, then they are transferred to the uterus. So IVF, in vitro fertilization, then either GIFT or it is IUT. Sometimes embryos formed by in vivo fertilization. In vivo means fusion occurs within the female. These can also be used for such transfer to assist those females who cannot conceive. So embryos produced in other females can also be used in this transfer. Here it is shown in vitro fertilization. You see that these eggs, they are the multiple eggs, they are produced by certain hormones. Otherwise single egg is produced in one ovary, so woman is given hormone treatment to stimulate egg production, and multiple eggs, they are taken from the woman's ovary outside in the culture medium. Then in the lab, eggs, they are mixed with the man's sperm cells. It can be the husband's sperms or it can be any donor's sperm. Then fertilization takes in vitro outside the body in the test tube or in the culture medium. The fertilized egg or embryos are placed in incubator for 48 hours and then depending upon the stage of the embryo, if it is a zygote or it is a 8-celled embryo, it is transferred here in the fallopian tube. But if it is a 32-celled embryo, it is transferred here in the uterus. So IUT or GIFT, if zygote intrafallopian tubes. So it is very important. It is a boon to infertile mothers, especially to those men with oligospermia where the sperm count is low. And embryos can be frozen and used for the future also. Then other technologies, second IVF के बाद एक है gamete intrafallopian transfer. Ovum collected from the donor or transferred to female who cannot produce one but provide suitable environment for fertilization. देखो पहले वाला जो केस था IVF, वो किस केस में पॉसिबल होता है कि फीमेल का जो है सिर्फ फर्टिलाइजेशन नहीं कर सकती पर डेवलपमेंट हो सकती है, तो उसमें कर सकते हैं. और कई बार क्या है, ओवम ही नहीं प्रोड्यूस होते फीमेल में, बट यूटेरस सूटेबल है, वो हेल्दी है, वो डेवलपमेंट कर सकता है, तो उनके लिए गिफ्ट that ovum from the donor is transferred to the female who cannot produce one, and then it is but uterus is suitable for the implantation. So sperms and ova, they are transferred to the ampulla of the fallopian tube. सिर्फ ओवम नहीं बनता पर फर्टिलाइजेशन हो सकती है। पहले वाले केस में फर्टिलाइजेशन सूट नहीं हो सकती थी ड्यू टू द डिफरेंट रीजंस। तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ ओवम नहीं बन रहा, ओवम बाहर से डाल रहे हैं, स्पर्म बाहर से डाल रहे हैं, एंड देन दिस fertilization can occur in the fallopian tube, and this is done with the laparoscope, and then further fertilization, cleavage and implantation occur in the mother. एंड समटाइम्स क्या होता है कि ओवम बनता भी है बट फिम्ब्रिया जो ये फिंगर लाइक प्रोजेक्शंस हैं दे फेल टू कैप्चर ओवम, उसके लिए भी ये टेक्निक यूजफुल है। समटाइम्स फीमेल्स दे हैव स्पेशल sperm antibodies in their vagina, cervix, and cervical secretion में antibodies, they kill the sperm and sperm cannot reach the fallopian tube. So इस cases में gift technology है that is यूजफुल। या तो कोई ओवम में प्रॉब्लम है या स्पर्म में भी कोई भी प्रॉब्लम है, तो ये डायरेक्टली फर्टिलाइजेशन भी बॉडी के अंदर, डेवलपमेंट भी बॉडी के अंदर होती है। नेक्स्ट, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Here the sperm is directly injected into the ovum in the culture medium. सो कल्चर में ही करते हैं फर्टिलाइजेशन, बट इट इज डायरेक्टली इंजेक्ट कर देते हैं इन द ओवम। वहाँ पे क्या किया था कि दोनों को मिक्स किया था और अपने आप फर्टिलाइजेशन हुई। यहाँ पे इंजेक्शन या नीडल से मतलब 100% चांसेस हो जाते हैं फर्टिलाइजेशन के। डायरेक्टली इंजेक्टेड इनटू द साइटोप्लाज्म ऑफ द egg, then zygote and embryo transferred to the fallopian tube or uterus depending upon the stage वो कैसी है। Then another is artificial insemination. Sometimes male partner it is unable to inseminate, and sometimes there is oligospermia, very low sperm count is there. Sometimes the sperms are not motile enough. So in these cases is artificial insemination is done. Semen of the male partner or donor is collected, concentrated and introduced into the vagina or uterus of the female. Intrauterine insemination. All these technologies, they are very helpful. There are many options, but these are not possible with the females with damaged uterine wall. Moreover, they require highly specialized professionals as well as expensive instruments, and high precision is required. So it is not available everywhere. There are few centers in our country, and due to its expensive nature also, it's available to the few people only. Moreover, there are many other issues associated with ethical, emotional, religious and moral issues are associated. So, but the ultimate aim of all these technologies is to have children. And in India, we have a number of orphanage. So, there are many children who need parents. So, couples, they are advised is to go for adoption of children, and and that is the best method for couples looking for the parenthood. Thank you so much.